Well, hello and good morning. This is Jeff Hooks. It's my privilege to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, May 2nd, first Saturday of the month. I can't believe it's a new month. And very excited to have the next 45 minutes or so and invest and collaborate with all of you. In fact, I'm going to open my chat bar here just so I can stay plugged into what's going on. And I want to encourage you to really roll up your sleeves and work with me here. I'm going to say work in quotes. This is hopefully going to be fun for the next 45 minutes, because the purpose of this VNI partner training is the purpose of every Saturday partner training, is to help you grow your business, is to help you learn, grow, and improve, and be more equipped than before the event to reach your goals with the VNI mission. And that's a responsibility. It's a task that we take very, very seriously. Every time when we have a leader, 2 weeks ago, it was Ken Nasmit's. Last week, of course, it was Ed and Gina Bender. I want you to understand that all these leaders and any leader in the future that is going to be sharing and coaching and training on this call and in this event puts a lot of time and effort and energy in preparation. Because this is all about whether you're a brand new partner, just setting the sales and launching your VNI business, or whether you're one of our top leaders. We all have the capacity. That's what's so exciting about this journey we're on together. We all have the capacity to improve. We have the capacity to be better at what we're doing. We have the capacity to be more effective at assisting people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance. And so it's a function of learning. It's a function of growing. It's a function of focusing on progress. Like we talk about progress, not perfection. And so I'm excited to be able to spend some time with all of you this morning. Now, let's talk a little bit about kind of as we set the sails for the month of May. Let me share with you some things that I'll also share on our monthly kickoff call. In fact, let me start there. Let me start with making sure that all of you have clarity on the upcoming events over the next week, because by design, the VNI team has put together events that you and your team, partners and customers, can plug into. And these events are designed to help you get off to a great start for the month of May. So Monday night, this coming Monday, obviously day after tomorrow, at 8 o'clock Eastern, we have our monthly product call. And by the way, it's not called our national product call, just for some of the old timers. It's our monthly product call. So everybody from the US and Canada can plug in and engage with the event. And it's an opportunity for our founder, our chairman, and our CEO, Bill Downs, and our co-founder and head of research and development, Steve Kushner, to educate us. Now, we'll tell you this coming Monday, as was announced, they're going to be spending a lot of time on the new Perform Light product. This is a product that I hope all of you know we launched last Monday officially. It was the global launch, if you will, of our new Perform Light product. The response has been incredible. And I got to tell you, it is an absolute winner. It really is. As customers and partners are beginning to receive the first Perform Light orders, you watch what happens over the next week in terms of excitement and energy, because this is a product, the value proposition straight from the box: energy, hydration, proper pH, strength, energy, and recovery. Oh, by the way, it also strengthens the immune system, as Bill and Steve educated us on the launch webinar. But it tastes great. It absolutely tastes great, and it's fun to drink. You're going to love it. I'll share with you, in my own house, my wife now is asking for it in the morning. She's asking for it. And now what I do, just as a quick aside, and I'm sure Bill and Steve will cover this some on Monday night, is I'm starting to mix my Protivite, 1 ounce of Protivite, in with my Perform Light. And I love coffee, and I'm sure all of you do too. So if you take what you like and discard the rest with my suggestions. But I've started this week mixing the Protivite with the Perform Light instead of coffee. And I tell you what, it is a great way to start the day. So just consider that, as you're engaging with the product. But so that's Monday night at 8. Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock, we have our VNI product introduction. So again, and oh, by the way, we've got Bill and I are really excited to announce that we've got Steve Kushner going to be leading that event with me Tuesday at 8 in the Zoom meeting room, this same meeting room. So invite guests, invite prospective customers, invite prospective partners, invite existing customers, invite existing partners to that event, 8 o'clock Tuesday evening, where Steve Kushner, our co-founder, head of research and development, will be walking everyone through our company and our products and our science. So that's going to be a great event, again, designed to help you get off to a great start for the month of May. Right after that, so shortly after that, at 9 o'clock, for our partners, for all of you, we have our monthly kickoff call. And that is a business-centric call focused on best practices to help you. And we're going to have a couple guest speakers focusing on helping you get off to a great start in the month of May. Then, of course, Thursday at 8 o'clock, we have our partner overview, where it's designed for prospective partners, maybe individuals that have engaged with the products. They want to learn more about the business side. They want to learn more about the mission. They want to learn more about what the opportunities are to be a partner. And by the way, if you missed this past Thursday's partner overview, it's in your VNI Life app, and you'll want to watch it, and you'll want to use it as a tool, because Ken Nasmith did an amazing job of a very effective job in a very brief, literally from beginning to end, it was right at 30 minutes, maybe a tad less. And it's a wonderful presentation. So that's a tool that's in your VNI Life app right now. So if somebody says, hey, tell me more about the business, boom, in 3 seconds, you can forward them that replay and you're off and running. Okay. So anyway, those are some of the upcoming events I want to share with you. We had a wonderful week last week. If you think about it, I think sometimes it's important, especially at the beginning of a new month, for us as a team to sit back and for a second and say, wow, we've got a lot to be thankful for. We've got a lot to be grateful for. So let me share a couple things that, and maybe some of these you wouldn't probably have known about, most of you anyway. So obviously Monday we had our big 2020 product launch with PerformLight. And I just can't tell you how excited I am for y'all to start sharing this product within the existing product line. And because I know what it's going to do for your business. So it's going to be a great, May is going to be a breakout month for us, just like it was last year, by the way, with the Empower Conference. Now, so we had the product launch. We had the PerformLight product launch. We also, now this is behind the scenes. This is, the corporate team is working. I've shared this before with all of you. We get up early and we stay up late doing our very best to serve you. And we're not perfect, but we make progress every day. We make progress every week. We make progress every month. We transitioned, and I want to give a lot of kudos to Kim Downs, our Chief Business Officer and co-founder. And also Bill as well. But Kim led the project. She has taken a very large percentage of the last 12 months. Siri somehow tried to pirate my call. Go away. She has taken a large amount of the last 12 months and been vetting shipping fulfillment partners. Because we felt like the vendor partner that we've been using for 6.5 years, although he's done a great job, we feel like we've outgrown him, and we need to go to that next level to support the growth that's forthcoming, to support international expansion in the years ahead, and some of the other things we've got planned. So, long story short, this past week we transitioned to a new shipping fulfillment partner who is many times bigger, more sophisticated. For those of you that understand software, our API integration between our software and their software is seamless. That gives us real-time inventory control like we've never had it before. Not same day, but same second. And it just provides all kinds of efficiencies that are going to translate into getting the products out faster as we move forward. Even though we've always done a pretty good job of that, I would say a very good to a pretty good at worst, but we're going to be better at that. We're also going to have, it's going to improve customer care, visibility, and all kinds of things. And so we're just so excited. And most importantly, they can handle, literally right now, they can handle us growing the company 10 times. So we're positioned and we don't have to worry about outgrowing and having operational issues. That happens so much, y'all. That's a whole nother conversation, but I've seen it with former clients. I've seen it in my own businesses in the past decades, where the growth that you work so hard for ends up sabotaging your success because the supply wagon can't keep up with the growth. And what that translates into is being in back order over and over and over on all kinds of different products because you don't have the shipping and fulfillment to keep up with it. You don't have the warehousing to keep up with it. This is a very sophisticated operation, and I'm so excited to have that infrastructure as part of VNI as we move forward. So again, kudos to Kim Downs. Third and finally, I'll give you some other updates, but this is the last one for now. There'll be a formal introduction that goes out to the whole team, customers and partners next week. But beginning yesterday, I'm very excited to announce a new head of marketing come on board, Rachel Whitehouse. Rachel is an absolute genius in the world of marketing and branding. She's got an extraordinary track record in the space, not only direct to consumer, but also direct sales, networking, or relationship marketing. She's worked with some of the biggest brands in the industry. And most importantly, she's an extraordinary human being. She's very, very sharp. She's very kind, and she's so excited to be part of the VNI family. And so I want to share that announcement with you because that's going to have a direct impact on a lot of what you experience as a partner team in the months and years ahead. So those are some quick announcements. Let me start my screen share and let's get down to some training here. Now, this is a fundamental training, by the way, as a preamble, as I set the stage here. This is a training that we launched in January, and I'm going to present some of the information a little bit differently, but it's the fundamentals, and I want you to understand, whether you're brand new or whether you're one of our top leaders or emerging leaders in between, the fundamentals. Executing on the fundamentals are the absolute key to your success with VNI. Now, what is success? Success means achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve with VNI. Success is not comparing where you are and where you want to go with somebody else that might have different goals. Success is you making progress on the path that you've determined, potentially prayerfully, that you've determined is your path. And so if your goal is to go director and create an extra $500 to $1,000 a month part-time to pay off debt, and you reach that goal, I mean, obviously, or you're working towards that goal, that's a success journey. If your goal is to go crown ambassador and create financial independence and be debt-free, that's a worthy goal too. And the beautiful thing about VNI, I'm going to slide my chair because that sun's probably blinding all of you. The beautiful thing about the VNI model is you have the opportunity, based on your own efforts, your own commitment, your own passion, your own consistency, your own persistence. You have the ability to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve with VNI. You really do. Everything's in place. You're never going to get to a point where we say, you know what, you've created too much volume. We're going to have to cut that commission check down because there's just too much volume. We never planned that. This model is very scalable, which means, said differently, sell and share as much as you want to. We can handle it. and the bonus checks and the thank you checks, as Bill Downs and Kim Downs have always said, and Ed and Gina, the thank you checks will keep coming. You don't worry about that. So in fact, I'll share with you, hats off to all of you, by the way, because we closed the month of April very, very strong. We had in the last number of hours of the day, the last day of April on Thursday, I guess it was. Yeah, Thursday. We brought in those last number of hours, probably we right at 8,000 in volume, and including a couple share and grow packs. So, it's amazing what happens when you focus on an objective, when you focus on a goal, and you passionately pursue that. And we'll talk about that a little bit as we go forward. So let me start my screen share. Hold on. Okay, so we're talking about a breakthrough. We're still talking about a breakthrough 2020. And what's interesting about the reason I didn't want to, I could have easily edited the slide to make it more current, like creating a breakthrough rest of your 2020. But the interesting thing is, from the month of May, even if you're a brand new partner with VNI, even if you're just now engaging on this important mission, this noble mission that we're on together, your efforts beginning today can set the sails and create a breakthrough 2020. That's what's interesting. You've got it. It doesn't take as much time as long as there's consistency and persistence. It doesn't take as much time to create some early momentum as people think. And so let's talk about creating, no matter where you are in your VNI business, brand new, already coming off of growth in April, or maybe you didn't have a good month in April and you're hitting the reset button, you're hitting the refresh button. Let's talk about creating a breakthrough 2020 from right now forward to the holidays. Okay. The VNI Life App, y'all. I hope you understand. We're not going to do a complete VNI Life App training, although you have a VNI Life App. You have multiple trainings in the app itself. But I hope let me put it this way. I'll do it in the form of a respectful, collaborative plead. Please take time. Please take time to become familiar with your VNI Life App. And y'all, it would take if you're brand new, it would take an hour. I'm going to refresh it. It would take an hour, on a Saturday or Sunday this weekend to get familiar with where the content is, what the tools are, and practice a little bit. You can send some content to yourself. There's even training videos. If you go to the very bottom, and I'll see if you can see this. That, if you can see right there, VNI app training, and that you can watch that one training right there. It will equip you with some of the basics of this tool. Now, here's the reason this is important. Now, we have other tools. We have Zooms like this. You have your marketing website, everything else. But the VNI Life App allows you with your smartphone or a tablet to build and track your business. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But by design, we're making it so easy. You can build and grow your VNI business from your smartphone, and it's never been easier. You talk about social distancing, which hopefully is going to wind down in the upcoming weeks and months, but and we'll get back to the new normal, whatever that looks like. But the VNI Life App allows us, no matter whether you're traveling, no matter if you're in your own living room, if you're in your car, you can build a global business. You can build a business all across the US and Canada right now with the VNI Life App. So let's talk about some fundamentals. All right, first of all, stay plugged in. I want to make sure if you're a leader, which many of you are, make sure these are some of the principles that you're sharing one-on-one with your brand new partners when they come on board. The importance of staying plugged in. Think about your smartphone. Think about your computer or your laptop. What happens if you don't plug it into the charger? What does it do? Obviously, rhetorical question, but obviously all of you know the answer. It dies. If you don't, every day or sometimes multiple times a day, plug this in to give it a recharge, it dies. And folks, that's actually what happens in the VNI business on the partner side. When individuals, you're building, think about it this way, you're building a part-time venture. You've got your day job, you've got other priorities, you've got other responsibilities, you've got other stresses, you've got other concerns. Life gets in the way, and life will squeeze out a new partner's dreams with their VNI business if they don't stay plugged in. Life will expand, worry will expand, stress will expand, and it'll completely snuff out the light of excitement. And staying plugged in keeps you plugged into the lighthouse. It keeps you plugged into the vision. It keeps you learning and growing and improving. It provides inspiration and motivation. So stay plugged in. That's number one. Number two, don't be an island. Don't be the Lone Ranger. Number two, do something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business. Now, I've shared this with some of you before. In my experience, people always look for the secrets and they always look for the shortcuts, and it's human nature. And it's just, I don't fault anybody for it, but you'll see very smart men and women that are new partners, and they're like, they'll pull you aside as a leader, as a higher pen level. And they'll say, okay, now tell me the real scoop. Tell me, what are the secrets? I get all this basic fundamental stuff, but what's the secret? If there is a secret, which there's really not, if there is a secret, point number two up here is the secret. Consistency is the secret. It creates that compounding effect of growth and results. So do something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business. Now, positive means tied to sharing activity. You're inviting somebody to learn about the VNI products. You're sharing information, or you're following up. Or you're doing the exact same thing, share activity in support of one of your partners. But if you're taking notes, which I hope you are, stay at point of share. For those of you that come from sales backgrounds, you know the word, the description, point of sale. At VNI, we call it point of share, because we're not selling, we're sharing and educating. We're looking for people that are looking for better health physically, better health financially. And the sharing activity is what's most important. So focus on, when you talk about do something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business, it's focused in the area of sharing. How many new people are you going to share VNI with today and this week, between now and next Saturday's partner training? That right there. In fact, I encourage you, in your notes, draw a box. How many unique, brand new people do you want to share VNI with in the upcoming 7 days between now and next Saturday? And go ahead, put a number in there, commit to it. And then focus on that. That's that if you'll focus on your share activity on a consistent daily, weekly basis, and you execute on that plan, everything else falls into place. You got to stay consistent, but consistency creates momentum, and momentum is sustained through consistency. So that's, if there is a secret, that's the secret. Number three has to do with mindset. And this is coming from over 30 years in the space, right at 30 years in a few months. From my experience, what separates partners that reach their goals from partners that don't, it's taking responsibility for the business. And we can all do that, every one of us, but it's a mindset, and you have to be intentional about it. I've learned through observation in my whole business career, and really in life, successful men and women focus on what they want to have happen, and they're always asking how. They focus on what they want to have happen and how to make it happen. Unsuccessful people focus on excuses. They focus on what they don't want to have happen and who's to blame. And that's all mindset. An extension of mindset obviously is attitude. So what's the solution? The solution is to be very intentional in your mindset of taking responsibility for your business. I'll give you a perfect example. I was candidly frustrated this morning at our technology challenges that had to do with a company that's doing a great job. But there were some hiccups for me this morning. I was, for 15 minutes, I had prepared for this time with all of you, and for 15 minutes I couldn't access the platform to kick off the event. It would have been very easy because my blood pressure was up to here. It was very easy to just bail and say, you know what, I tried. They'll be next week. But by the grace of God, our new head of marketing, who's out in California, in Arizona on Pacific time, she's 3 hours behind, was up early, and one phone call, and in 3 minutes it was fixed. So I didn't really take responsibility, but I found somebody who could solve it, and I didn't quit. So you get the idea. There's probably lots of better examples I could have given you, but the idea of taking responsibility, that doesn't mean, beat yourself up. It just means, you know what, if it is to be, it's up to me. Nothing's perfect. Things might not be exactly the way we want it on any given day. It rarely is. But how we respond to that, taking responsibility for the things that we're in control of. And guess what you're in control of? This is the good news. This should give you inspiration. You're in control of how many people you share the VNI products and mission with on a daily basis. Nobody can stop you from sharing. And oh, by the way, sharing, as we've already touched on, is the most important thing you can do to grow your business. So you to take responsibility for your share activity. Don't look at the shiny object to the left or the distraction to the right. The world is full of distractions. People are, with their own agendas, are going to, especially as you have success with VNI, people are going to try to distract you. They're going to, and there's two ways that the marketplace tries to distract us, with bright, shiny objects. Number one, the promise of something for nothing. And number two, the illusion, the lie of the quick buck. Something for nothing and the quick buck. The marketplace will always try to distract you and me with a variation or a combination of those two. And so you take responsibility for your business and stay focused and say, you know what? I'm going to stay focused on my share activity. I'm focusing on the VNI mission because I know our mission's a noble one. I know our products are real. I know our business model's real. We've got a 6.5-year track record of blessing people's lives, and we're just getting started. So stay focused on that responsibility. Stay focused on, you take responsibility for your focus. It's so easy to get distracted. And I always tell people the biggest challenge of your VNI business is managing what's between your ears. Managing what's between your ears. And that has to do with focus. So stay focused on your share activity. Stay focused on your share activity. Now, authenticity. This is so important. This is part of the DNA, the fabric of the VNI culture. Authenticity. We want all of you, and as we continue to grow, men and women from different backgrounds, different walks of life, but to be real and to be focused on contribution and to be focused on helping people, and by helping others, by contribution, by giving before getting, you're going to be able to reach your goals. So authenticity is something, be you, but be the best version of you. And that's what we focus on as we're learning together, as we're growing together. It's about being the best version of ourselves so that we can serve our customers, our partners, and our future customers and partners. So authenticity is one of the keys to growth. Commit to personal growth yourself. And we talk about this a lot. Have a personal growth plan. Could be 5 minutes a day. Remember point number 2, consistency. Could be 15 minutes a day, could be 30 minutes a day, could be reading from a good book. It could be, and in fact, I'll show you here. I'm going to show you what I'm reading. These are new. Y'all bear with me. This was unplanned, unscripted. I know you're looking at the lighthouse. All right. So Reinvent is a leadership book from the former CEO of Merck that was recommended on more on my corporate responsibilities, but that's what I'm reading now. I'm reading the Root of Riches from the CEO of Crown Ministries. And it's basically and this is just my personal, it's just talking about what does it mean to really be rich, and the author's perspective, which I agree with, is that it's a lot more than just what's in your bank account. And then I'm reading Max Lucado, Max on Life. And those are the 3 books that right now, every day, I read from those books. And here's my goal. This is my personal growth plan. Never will I go more than one day. Never will I go a day without reading at least one page from those 3 books. That's a very modest goal, but it's a goal that I can build on. Some days I read a lot more, and I've also got audio programs that I'm listening to. But as you see there on your slide, if you want to go to the next level, you have to grow to the next level. So personal growth and a commitment to personal growth is one of the keys. Leadership, excuse me. We must first learn to lead ourselves. That's the key before we can, and it's a process. So we're basically doing all this at the same time. But having that awareness is very important. The way we can lead and be more effective at leading others is to learn to lead ourselves first. Jim Rohn used to say this: leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. And that one that he's referring to that's ourselves. Leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. So leadership first begins with managing and leading ourselves. And I will suggest that you consider the importance, again, of going back to your share activity. Okay. Each time you connect with one of your customers and partners, now this is a leadership tip, but it's something that when you're a brand new partner and you bring on your first customer and your first partner, recognize that every time you connect with them, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text, whether it's an email exchange, recognize that it's an opportunity to encourage them, excuse me, on a personal level, encourage them in the engagement of their products. Now, we've done trainings on this before, y'all, but listen, when you have a brand new customer, brand new partner, you want to have them call you when their product arrives. Because so many times what happens is their product arrives and they're busy. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes 2 or 3, 4, 5 days goes by and the box is still sitting in the corner in their entry hall or in their coat closet. They just shove it in the coat closet. So you want to follow up with your new customers and partners and encourage them to engage with the products right out of the gate. Their very first, when they first arrive. Be there to encourage them, share with them how to take the products, et cetera, et cetera. So every connection, every touch point you have with a customer partner is an opportunity. Again, this is a leadership mindset, an opportunity to encourage and an opportunity to build belief. Folks, that build belief is important. The first 60 to 90 days of a new customer's engagement and a new partner's engagement is mission critical. They're developing the new habit of taking the VNI products every day. They're taking the habit. So here's an example. You could check in with a new list, even if it's a partner. Say, hey, did you take your N-Sorb last night before you went to bed? Oh, Cynthia, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I really didn't. I gotta work on that. Well, listen here, do me a favor. What I do is bear with me. And I do this. I have this in my bathroom where I keep my toothbrush. And so I can't miss it. Sometimes I'll take it down in the kitchen before I go up, right when I'm getting ready to go to bed. But I have it right there as a reminder to take my N-Sorb right before I go to bed. And so you can give that suggestion. Encourage and build belief. Encourage and build belief. Sometimes the mistake that we all make sometimes left unchecked is you have a new customer on board, you have a new partner on board, and you say, check, I've done my job, now I got to move on and get another one. Well, we want you to keep sharing and caring with a smile on your face and love in your heart. We want you to keep sifting and sorting, looking for new customers and new partners. At the same time, you want to stay connected to those new customers and new partners as they're just engaging. Does that make sense? So encourage and build belief. Those are if you'll commit to that. This is after the share, after the sale. Encourage your new customers and partners, whether it's text, email. Now, that doesn't mean, again, you got to use discernment. So that doesn't mean you're hammering them every day. You got to use discernment. It's but stay connected based on your relationship dynamics and be a source of encouragement and build belief in the products. Build belief for your partners in the mission The encouragement also translates all the way back to point number one that we've touched on. You want to encourage, for example, your customers and partners to plug into the Monday night product event. You want to encourage your partners to plug into the kickoff event on Tuesday. You want to encourage your partners to have guests to the product introduction Tuesday at 8. So there's lots of applications to these two simple principles. But if you'll write them down, if you'll think about it every day, and then ask yourself good questions. How can I encourage my customers today? How can I encourage my partners today? How can I build belief in my customers and partners today? And if you'll just ask yourself that and be aware of it, there'll be opportunities through the course of the day and through the course of the week that, because you've got that, you're very intentional with your mindset, there'll be opportunities to both encourage and build belief. That's the key. What you're going to find is leaders, not only are leaders of themselves, leaders have a positive mindset. See, think about this. You can't encourage and build belief in others if you're, Captain Negative. I will tell you, a negative mindset, the opposite of a lot of what we've talked about, will absolutely prevent growth. So we're talking about the positive. What are your keys to growth? What are the key things you want to do to position yourself for the growth that you're capable of? The opposite of these principles will prevent growth. And I think that goes without saying. So when you encourage and you build belief, you can't do that. You can't be intentional about that without being in a positive mindset yourself. You can't be intentional about taking responsibility for your business while behind closed doors, you're blaming the company, you're blaming your upline, you're blaming me, you're blaming Bill, you're blaming, whatever. So that's, and I don't mean to be insensitive, but there's sometimes you do need to be insensitive. Sometimes the brain can go really negative for all of us if we're not careful. And that doesn't create fertile ground for growth. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. So, I'm going to zip through a couple slides. I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to end on time for all of you because it was my fault we started late. All right. So vision questions. It's so important. Think about the month of May. Dream big dreams. What is it that you want to accomplish? Okay. Big picture. I'm going to kind of zip through these, but they're important. And if you haven't given them thought, and if you haven't given them prayerful consideration and memorialized your thoughts, then I would encourage you to do that this weekend. Where do you want to be in 5 years? How's your VNI business going to help you get where you want to go? Where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you want to be 1 year from now? May of 2021. Think about the power of this model. In the midst, by the grace of God, in the midst of these challenges we're all dealing with, think about the power of this model. Never has there been a greater need for the VNI products. Never has there been a greater need. Never has there been a greater need for something that helps manage stress. Never has there been a greater need for nourishing the body at a cellular level and boosting the immune system. And we're launching in the midst of all this. I just shared with you what we've done in the last week. We are rocking and rolling, y'all. We really are. And what a blessing that is. So think about it. Where would you like to be in 5 years within the business? What pin level? Some of you, I know for a fact, want to be beyond Crown Ambassador. Okay, Crown Ambassador, as you know, is currently our highest pin level. Some of you already, and I know Ken Nasmith has talked about it openly. Ed and Gene have talked about it openly. And many of you have, as others have as well. You want to be beyond, because we are going to have pin levels beyond Crown Ambassador, I promise you. We're going to have pin levels that go to $1 million a month minimum in sales, in wholesale volume. So where would you like? That might not be your goal. That's okay. Where would you like to be? What type of cash flow? How many customers would you like to have? What kind of volume? What about your thank you checks on a weekly and a monthly basis? Where would you like to be? What about 3 years? What about 1 year? Imagine if you had, like many of our leaders, if you had 3, 4, 5,000 or more a month coming in residual cash flow in the midst of this challenge. What would that, or more? What would that have? What would that have? What kind of value does that have? Think about that. And the beautiful thing is, I want you to understand, and this is something I want to make sure I get to because we're in the home stretch. The PIN system. Now, I've shared this with all of you, but if you're brand new, all of you that are existing partners, the key to creating real growth with your VNI business is to be very intentional about setting goals in the first four PIN levels. So with all of your partners, associate manager, manager, executive manager, director, those first 4 PIN levels are the key to the vault. So you have a partner join you, set a goal. Okay, we're gonna focus the share activity. We're pointing that share activity towards a goal, and a goal is simply a PIN level with a date attached to it. Okay, so I want to be associate manager by the end of May. I want to be manager by the end of May. Whatever it is, focus on progress. Then you point that share activity towards that PIN level, that PIN goal that you've set for yourself. Y'all, listen to me. Your team is not going to focus on rank advancement if you don't focus on rank advancement. Hear me on this. If you're not talking about associate manager, manager, executive manager, director, they're not going to be talking about it. If you're not focused on it, they're not going to be focused on it. If you're not working towards it, they're not working towards it. Remember, leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. So you've got to set the example that you want your team to follow. They're well done. You've heard me say this. Well done is better than well said. Your people are going to do what you do, not what you say. Now, if what you do and what you say is in alignment, then that's really effective leadership. And that's what we all work for. I sometimes fall short, and so will you. That's okay. Progress, not perfection. But what we want, what we say and what we do to be in alignment. And what you want to do as leaders of your VNI business is you want to keep focused on what you're saying and what you're doing as you're leading and coaching and supporting your partners towards that rank advancement. Associate manager, manager, executive manager, director. Now, here's the power of this. I haven't really covered this with y'all yet. I will more and more as we move forward, especially with the leadership team, with the higher PIN levels. What is the PIN level? By focusing on the PIN system, what are you doing? The PIN system, again, I'm being repetitive on purpose. Associate manager, manager, executive manager, director, executive director, and beyond, all the way to the envoy experience, all the way to ambassador, all the way to crown ambassador, and beyond. What that does is it merges the mission, our mission with VNI, assisting people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance, being a lighthouse, being a light in a dark world that needs the products and that we're bringing to the market. Okay, a solution for health and wellness and vitality that the world needs. Unique proprietary products that are backed by unparalleled, unprecedented scientific validation. Cutting edge new products with real research and development backing them that the world needs. Instead of consuming the Gatorades and the Powerades with 30 plus grams of sugar and all that nonsense, how about a real product that delivers hydration, energy, and so much more? We're bringing real products. So the mission, combined with your personal goals for yourself and your family, including your financial goals, your lifestyle goals, your time freedom. Stay with me on this. This is going to be my finishing point. Okay? The PIN system, when you focus on going director, it's pulling together the mission with your personal goals. So I'm going to say it differently. When you go director, or you go executive manager, whatever your next PIN level is, or you go executive director, you're by definition, you're creating volume. You can't do that without creating volume. The more volume you create, the more people are being blessed by these products. Okay, so your contribution is greater. You with me? Your contribution is greater because you're creating more volume. More people are consuming the products, customers and partners. Okay, as you're creating more volume, going to that next PIN level, you're creating more volume, so your compensation, your thank you checks are greater. So focusing on the PIN system, being very intentional, taking responsibility focusing on consistency, focusing on your share activity, things we've talked about today already. It's pulling together the mission with your personal goals, and it gives you a singular focus. Does that make sense? It pulls it all together. So if you focus on, all of you, we're focused, we want servant leaders. You've heard me say on the partner side, I even said it last Thursday night, a couple nights ago. We want missionaries, not mercenaries. We want you to have financial goals. We want you to have financial objectives with your VNI business. It's a very normal part of the process. I mean, you've got to take care of your family. You got to take care of bills. You got responsibilities to take care of. And with VNI, the only way to achieve those objectives, those financial objectives, is by blessing people with our mission, by engaging people with these products, engaging people with the business, showing them an opportunity how they can create a cash flow to pay off debt, showing them how they can create a cash flow from a part-time business that can supplement their retirement, showing them how they can create a cash flow from a part-time business that can grow to full-time freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. Those opportunities are all there. And so the way you tie it all together is you laser focus on the PIN system. So the first 4 PIN levels, you might say, well, Jeff, I'm already a vice president. Look, you focus on what's called the leading edge of your business. Those are your newest partners. Your newest customers you stay close to and you ask for referrals. But for your newest partners, you help your newest partners at the leading edge of your business. If you're taking notes, that's something we're going to build on in the weeks and months ahead. The leading edge of your business. Those are the newest partners that joined your team. Help those men and women focus on the first 4 PIN levels: associate manager, then manager. You can knock that out in 1 month. You could go associate manager, manager, executive manager in 1 month if you go all in. Then director. And then you help those partners do the same thing. You create a business that's consistently breaking new associate managers, executive managers, and directors. That's what creates the volume that propels you to the higher PIN levels. So the focus is always at the leading edge of the organization, no matter where a partner is, helping them go to that next PIN level, executive manager or director, whatever it is. And you create an organization that's doing that. Now, and how do you do that? Okay, so how do you create an organization that's breaking PIN levels every week, every month? Well, you go 1 step backwards, and that's the share activity. That's the share activity. How many new people, like we talked about earlier, am I going to share the VNI products with today? Okay, so that's how we look at it. So you ask yourself, the month of May, what's holding you back? Is there anything in April that held you back? Can you put a plan in place in May that will help you stay focused and stay the course, so that if you were being held back by something, what's holding you back? Is it fear? Is it distractions? Is it shiny object syndrome, where somebody's distracting you with other things? Are you always looking over at your neighbor's fence, looking at their yard and their flowers instead of blooming where you're planted, instead of taking care of your own yard, your own garden, your own flower beds, etc.? What's holding you back? And whatever it is, and get with your upline success coach, since it's the beginning part of the new month. Schedule a call with me next week if you want, if you're serious. I don't have, and I encourage you as leaders, we don't have time to just chit chat about the business. If you're serious about your sharing activity, about taking your VNI business to the next level, then ask yourself, what's holding you back, and why not put a plan in place, a share activity plan? I'm going to share VNI with X number of people, 1 person a day, every day, the month of May, 1 a day for the month of May. How about that? That's a good slogan. Or what about 2 a day? 2 a day for the month of May. And stay consistent. Remember, consistency creates momentum. Consistency creates momentum. So use the VNI Life app for your share activity, the process which we talk about pretty much every week: invite, share, follow up. invite people to learn about the products, learn about the mission, share the information using the VNI Life app, follow up, use the content you've got on the VNI Life app for additional follow-up information, use your upline success coach, use the conference calls, use the webinars, use the tools, the recordings that you've got. But three-way calls are such an important part of that follow-up process. So invite, share, follow up. If you'll focus on your share activity, point that share activity to a goal. Okay, this is my conclusion. Point that share activity to a goal, and the goal is a pin level in the month of May. Focus on progress. And then recognize that that goal, achieving that next step goal, is taking you one step closer to your dreams. That's how you create that alignment. And then you want to help your people create that same alignment. Share activity pointed to a goal, which is a pin level, a pin rank. And then as you move towards that goal, you're moving in the direction of your big dreams. That's how you create the alignment. But you break it back down to the share activity. Nothing happens unless we're sharing VNI with new people on a consistent basis. All right. God bless y'all. Thank you so much. I know I've gone deep in some different areas on some of these fundamentals, but the business, this is my last comment. The business is not as hard as we make it. It really isn't. It really isn't. What becomes difficult is managing what's between our ears, managing our focus, managing our thoughts. So don't overthink your VNI business. Get your heart involved and take action. Get your heart involved, take action. Get your heart involved, take action. Share, 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 share. The more you share, the better you're going to get at it. Let me check. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop my my screen share and check the chat real quick before we wrap up. Hold on. Okay, lots of good feedback. Okay, super. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Annette. Thank you. Look, everybody, this has been a great, thank you for your patience. We're going to stop right there. I encourage you to go back through this content, go back through your notes. What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? What kind of progress do you want to make between now and the end of May? And then recognize, once again, the tools and the events that you've got next week to help you on that journey. But never, never stray too far away from the foundational basics of your share activity. Okay? All right. Thanks so much, y'all. God bless. Have a wonderful Saturday and a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.